Welcome to my channel. Today, we're exploring Stellar Defiance, a sci-fi journey where humanity stands strong and defies the odds across the galaxy. Dive into epic starship battles, powerful tech, and the resilience that makes us unstoppable in a universe full of challenges. If you're ready for a thrill-packed adventure in deep space, hit subscribe, and let's get started. The dawn of humanity's rise to galactic prominence was not one of peaceful exploration or steady progress. It was forged in the fires of adversity, in the void of space, and in the crucible of war. The galaxy had once belonged to the ancient empires of the cosmos, colossal, near-immortal species whose power was rivaled only by their hubris. To these beings, humanity had been but an afterthought, an insignificant speck among the stars. Yet, in a few short centuries, they would become the greatest force in the galaxy, an empire forged not just in technology and military might, but in the fire of their indomitable spirit. Humanity's history was one of survival against impossible odds. The Earth itself had once been a world scarred by war, plagued by disease, and on the brink of ecological collapse. Yet, humanity had adapted, evolving from the ashes of their own mistakes. They had rebuilt, had thrived, and had dared to reach for the stars. Their technology advanced rapidly, fueled by a mixture of raw ingenuity and an unwavering desire to overcome the limitations that had once constrained them. The first great leap for humanity came with the discovery of the Hypergate, a relic of an ancient race, left behind on a forgotten world in the outskirts of the galaxy. The Hypergate was an immense structure, a vast interdimensional portal capable of bending space-time and allowing ships to travel across the galaxy in a matter of hours. It was a breakthrough that would change the course of history, propelling humanity into the galactic stage. But the discovery came at a cost. The moment humanity unlocked the gate, they attracted the attention of the galaxy's most powerful and ancient civilizations, the Zenther, a race of telepathic beings that had dominated the galaxy for millennia, and the Cherek, a brutal warrior species that saw the discovery of the Hypergate as a challenge to their territorial rule. These races, who had long held the galaxy in a delicate balance of power, were unprepared for the arrival of humanity, a species with a hunger for the stars and an ability to adapt like no other. At first, the Zenther and Cherek dismissed humanity as an insignificant threat, merely a nuisance on the galactic scale. But they underestimated the one thing that would define humanity's rise, their relentless drive to prove themselves. In a galaxy that had long been defined by established empires and their ancient bloodlines, humanity's hunger for expansion, freedom, and independence was a force that could not be easily contained. The early conflicts between humanity and the established powers were brutal. The Cherek launched raids against human colonies, seeking to crush them before they could grow too powerful. The Zenther, who had once seen themselves as the galaxy's rulers, watched with growing concern as humanity's influence spread across the stars. But it was not just their physical might that made humanity a force to be reckoned with, it was their ability to inspire unity in the face of adversity. What the Cherek and Zenther had underestimated was humanity's capacity to band together, to fight for each other, and to evolve faster than any of their adversaries could anticipate. The first victory for humanity came at the Battle of Andor, a small, insignificant system that would become the birthplace of the human empire. It was there that a ragtag fleet of human warships, barely outgunned by the Cherek and Zenther forces, fought back against overwhelming odds. Led by Admiral Marcus Hawk, a charismatic and brilliant strategist, the human fleet managed to outmaneuver the enemy, using guerrilla tactics that the Cherek could not anticipate. The Zenther, for their part, found themselves unable to predict the sheer unpredictability of human warfare, and the humanity-led forces emerged victorious. This victory sparked a chain reaction. It sent a message to the galaxy: humanity was not a species to be ignored, and they were willing to fight for their place among the stars. In the wake of Andor, more human colonies began to spring up across the galaxy. The once fragmented and divided human factions rallied together under a single banner, creating a unified government, the Terran Dominion, an empire forged by the collective will of its people. But the Zenther and Cherek did not simply retreat into the darkness. They rallied, reassembled, and launched a series of retaliatory strikes against the human colonies. They underestimated humanity's ability to learn and adapt, however. Each battle became an opportunity for humans to refine their strategies, develop new technologies, and evolve their military tactics. The Terran Dominion began to grow, not through brute force alone, but through an intricate web of alliances, diplomacy, and the sheer force of their will. Humanity's empire expanded, absorbing new star systems, building a strong economic infrastructure, and establishing cultural ties with species that had once seen them as nothing more than primitive upstarts. But while humanity was consolidating its power, it was not without its internal struggles. The new empire, despite its successes, faced deep ideological divides. Some believed in a more democratic system, where the people had a direct say in their leadership. Others, particularly among the military, felt that the empire needed a strong, central leadership if it was to survive the constant threats from the established galactic powers. These ideological divides led to political strife, even within the leadership of the Terran Dominion. Yet, each time humanity faced division, they found ways to unite once more, overcoming their differences in the face of external threats. As humanity's influence grew, so too did their enemies. The Zinthar, once proud rulers of the galaxy, found themselves increasingly irrelevant as humanity's rapid expansion outpaced them. Their telepathic abilities, once their greatest strength, were now ineffective against the unpredictability of human minds. The Cherek, meanwhile, were beset by constant rebellion among their own territories as more and more species began to resist their domination. The Terran Dominion, with its focus on freedom and self-determination, became a beacon for those oppressed by the Zinthar and Cherek empires. One of the most pivotal moments in the empire's rise came with the establishment of the Senate of Stars. This body of elected representatives from across the human colonies would serve as the political heart of the empire, ensuring that power would never again be concentrated in the hands of a single ruler. While many initially feared that the Senate would only create more division, it quickly became clear that it was the glue that held the empire together. The Senate, composed of diplomats, strategists, scientists, and representatives from all walks of human life, became the voice of the people, channeling their desires, their fears, and their hopes into actions that would shape the future of the empire. Despite the continued struggle against the remnants of the Zinthar and Cherek, the empire's position grew stronger by the day. The Terran Dominion forged alliances with other species who had once been too weak to resist the Zinthar's telepathic subjugation. These species, grateful for humanity's support, brought their advanced technologies and vast knowledge into the fold of the empire. The once immense barriers between species began to crumble, and the human-led empire began to form an unprecedented coalition of diverse civilizations, united under a single banner of liberty and mutual respect. As the empire expanded, so did its military might. The human fleet, now the most powerful in the galaxy, stood as the unchallenged protector of the Dominion. Yet, despite their might, humanity had learned a crucial lesson from their early days in the galaxy: brute strength alone would not maintain their dominance. Diplomacy, culture, and alliances were just as important as military power. To this end, the Empire established a series of peace treaties and alliances with neutral and previously hostile species. They worked tirelessly to maintain order, ensuring that no faction would ever be able to challenge their growing influence again. But with every empire, there comes a moment of reckoning. As the Terran Dominion reached its peak, the true cost of their rise began to make itself known. The Empire had achieved incredible victories and brought peace to a galaxy long torn by war, but at what cost? Humanity's insatiable drive for expansion and dominance began to weigh on them. The very ideals that had propelled them to the forefront of galactic politics, freedom, self-determination, and unity, were now being tested by the complexities of ruling an ever-expanding empire. The Senate of Stars found itself at a crossroads. Was the empire to remain a beacon of freedom for all, or had it become just another empire, seeking control over the galaxy? Dissent grew within the Senate, as more and more voices called for a re-evaluation of humanity's place in the galaxy. Some argued that it was time for the empire to retreat, to let go of the territories it had claimed and allow the galaxy to return to its natural order. Others, especially among the military, saw this as a betrayal, fearing that if humanity relinquished control, the galaxy would once again descend into chaos and war. As tensions grew, a new leader emerged, a charismatic and visionary figure who would become known as Emperor Selim. A descendant of the original Admiral Hawk, he rose to power during a period of uncertainty, offering a bold vision for the future of the Empire. He argued that humanity's place in the galaxy was not just as conquerors, but as guardians, protectors of peace, freedom, and prosperity. Under his leadership, the Empire would not only expand, but protect and uplift the civilizations under its rule, ensuring that they would never again be subjugated by the ancient empires that had once ruled them. With Emperor Selim's leadership, the Terran Dominion entered a new era, one where the ideals of freedom and unity were no longer just slogans, but the guiding principles of the Empire. The question of whether humanity's empire would become just another galactic monarchy or something greater remained unanswered, but in the hearts and minds of the people, the dream of a unified galaxy, one forged in starlight, remained alive.